Good morning, viewers out there. Welcome to Good Morning Anambra, the last edition of the month of March. And well, coincidentally, today happens to be Friday. And we'll be talking this morning with our guest this morning on the topic, the effect of nudity in social media. Well, I have my great anchor next to me, Chidima. And I know she's definitely going to be delving a whole lot into this, even though we have a guest that will be talking more on it. Chidima.
I don't know why you think I'm so passionate about this
Because
topic.
when we talk about social media, you understand, you're my social media mentor.
Why are you saying that? Of course, anyway, let's not just go into that. Let's focus on what we have today.
Exactly.
I mean, talking about nudity, the effect of nudity on social media. I mean, it things like it's now the norm.
Yeah,
especially, I think the one that breaks my heart is when you see a pregnant woman snapping going for photo shoot, and you see them going all naked. I mean,
bulging tummy, something that
I used to wonder it was just for young girls. Probably they are selling something. You understand? But now seeing married women who are pregnant, and of course most of the time their husbands they are there with them. You know, escorting them for the photo shoot, and you see them bearing everything.
Everything, man.
Somebody just said the other day, these photographers, they enjoy, sha.
Well, that's what we're definitely going to be talking about today. And then the effect, you understand, of nudity in the society. And well, we won't be talking all about this by ourselves. We have with us here, Praise Moneke, a businesswoman and a mother. You know, when we talk about mother, you understand, these are the basic foundation of family growing, you understand? Because for every person out there definitely came out from a mother. And then what we see in the society today tells a whole lot about who our mothers really are.
Of course. And we want to say welcome to the show this morning. Praise Monica. Thank you for joining us. All right, quickly, let's start with the trend on the social media, of course, about nudity. I know you are on different platforms on the social media, and you've seen what we've been seeing and what we just talked about right now. So it's not just about the photo shoot and all that. You notice sometimes that people will come live on social media and be exposing a whole lot. Things that are supposed to be covered with clothes, their clothing, but you see them exposing them to the social media. I mean, you've been seeing that. So when you, as a mother, when you see such things are happening, young girls bearing everything open on the social media, how do you feel as a mother?
So pathetic. It's a very big shame on parenthood, and a very big slap on the society. In Africa, we have our culture and our way of doing things. However, where you started from, a pregnant woman showing off pregnancy, naked. Let's use the word naked. Because while she shows off her nudity on air, on media, just because she wants to publicize herself, it helps in denigrating the society she's in. It has no value for culture. It has so many havoc on the culture and tradition of the society. And then these days, social media has become a very good place for display of ignorance. Because why I said the display of ignorance is that a lot of these forms of nonsense are on the records that will be there for years and can be opened at any moment. So what's the essence of one being naked or, you know, showing your nude pictures on media, displacing, you know, placing even the secret parts of your body in the social media? I think I'll just have to break up here.
Well, you said a whole lot anyway, because first and foremost, you started by telling us, reminding us that we are Africans first of all, and the fact that we are Africans, that means there is a core tradition that we have. Most of what we see today with our youngsters that are out there in the social media, you understand, are borrowed will I say, trend from, will I say, the Western world. These are not synonymous to this part of the world, you understand? Now, the question I want to ask Praise Moneke is, where did we get it wrong? How did we degenerate to this level of total decadence, whereby our youth now want to live both their own youth and our own youth together? Imagine thing you didn't do as a youngster. Children of these days want to do it for their unborn children, for themselves, and even for their grandparents. So what would you say got us this far?
However, we've been on it for a while. But you are talking about the decacy.
Yeah.
What brought us this far? It's inability to control the media. Because the media has created a platform where you can do whatever you want, and most parents couldn't guide their children any longer from what they are doing. Because you may not be able to, maybe you may not know that your child is watching a nude picture or is into nude films until the child begins to execute the process at which he or she has seen some steps. Then, if parents are able to stick to their kids, to know exactly what they do on media, what they do on what they log into their phones, I think it would have curtailed most of the problems we are going into. But the advocacy for celebrities, when I say advocacy for celebrities, most of our youths are so complacent this day. They want to become what they have not worked for. And when somebody is a celebrity, what the person does is like an achievement. So they go ahead and imitate every part of the celebrity without remembering that there are certain culture and traditions which their parents have, they are not supposed to neglect. Now, in the area of humanhood, we can't just begin to value children without valuing the activities our children are into. What are the social activities we get involved in that our children are even trying to upgrade? They will tell you your way of dressing is an old school. They will tell you everything about you is an old school. They will tell you they are in the new generation, where, just like one of us said, a pregnant woman can just, even, I think I have witnessed one of the pregnant women in the market. She was with her husband. She was half naked. The clothes she was putting on was showing her tummy. And I had to address her. I called her by and said, the clothes you're putting on is like, auntie, you would have measured it down a little. The husband said, please, madam, don't just intervene. So you begin to see that what we give out to the society is what we have already had in our homes. And that has brought the home to a certain level that, the home has become part of the society that has created, that has created vacuum for such deterioration. So I think personally that the level at which we hold our homes should be the first and foremost aspect of how we run our life, because it has a lot to do with the society.
Okay.
Social media has a lot to do with the society.
Okay, you made mention of parents not, censoring what their kids watch online or the sites that they visit, and we know that sometimes it's not possible. It seems like impossible for parents to do that,
exactly.
Because most times these children we are talking about, some of them are in schools, so parents will stay with them 24/7 to monitor the things that they watch. But then again, I remember that verse in the Bible that says, train up a child in the way he or she will grow, that when he grows up will not depart from it. You see, some of these children, they were given
trained.
They were well trained, yes, and they got a very good foundation from their parents. But when they leave home most times, or even when they are still at home, when they go to school, you see them mingling with people that came from this kind of family where they just grew up by themselves. Nobody was there to take care of them. And it seems like this trend is because of what we see, like we call peer pressure. They are being pressured by others to do that. And because there are people that are liking their pictures, and they make money out of it on social media. Because somebody told me the other day that if you want to make money out of social media, what you need to do is to talk about sex, or you expose your private parts and all that these are the fastest way to make money on the social media. So you see, some people will tell you, I'm just doing it for the money. It's not that I want to do it, but I'm just doing it for the money because I want to earn some money. So how do we even analyze this part?
Yes, they want to make money. That was it, they want to make money. But do we really know that making money without integrity? Do we still believe in integrity? Do we still believe that, there are things that are good and there are things that are wrong? Because of the followers they get on social media, they intend to say they are making money. But when you made your money without integrity, will the society have regard for such money? You killed yourself, you destroyed yourself, you become a model. And in your modelity, nobody regards you. Where is your peace coming in from? I think the social media is just a platform that can help any madness to be executed.
Well, I think in all that we've said so far, I still believe that there is a role the government can actually play in reducing this, even though it's not going to be eliminating it totally. I think it will just be more like censorship, you understand, whereby certain sites shouldn't be available for every person. And then perpetrators of this, because there was a video I saw about a girl that was 14 years and her birthday present to the world was a silhouette, as in a naked silhouette of herself. 14-year-old girl, for Christ's sake. A naked silhouette. And you begin to wonder, why would this kind of a thing be happening? And then we have government institutions, we have moral institutions, we have even the churches, the mosques. These are the areas where we believe that with the empowerment of the government, you understand, they can begin to clamp on people, offenders like this. And then because what is a minor showing off a nudity for? What do you intend to, what do you even need the money for to start with? Because you're a minor. So if government doesn't come up with legislation, you understand, from the State House of Assembly down to the federal and the Senate and passing it as bill, that for so reason we don't want to see so things on our platform. And then there are some governments are quiet about it. And somebody will tell you in a different light that this is business. So as far as these people are paying tax from the money they make from nude pictures that they are sampling to the entire world, so why would government come and clamp down on them? But no, we're talking about a sane society here. Because these children we are talking about here, the youth we are talking about here, are already role models to some people, younger generation. So whatever thing they do will definitely have.
Exactly, because just not 2 days back, we saw someone, a relationship expert, I don't want to call someone's name, on the social media. She was always there to give out advice, sometimes good advice, sometimes bad advice, depends on the one you want to pick. But her dressing that 2 days ago was nothing to write home about. Somebody even had to Photoshop her and use a wrapper to cover her up. We're still talking about nudity. And this is someone a whole lot of people are looking up to, taking advice from her to run their homes.
Wow.
To run their homes.
Yes, because she is a relationship expert. So most times she's there on the platform to talk about marriages.
Okay.
And some people, she has a huge follower, a huge fan base that always listen to her, take advice from her to run their homes.
Well, we'll definitely get to that. But now, what I'm talking about...
The points where you have spoken, and then I think I'm a little bit interested, is what the government can give out to the society for the detoleration. Because I think I understand vividly, there was a story my mother told me when they were growing, how you have to wear cross no gutter. By the time you wear your short gown and you want to cross a gutter and you cannot cross the gutter, you will be arrested. Can that happen now? But the governments then, the local governments they had in the society was helpful just to make sure that they dressed in modesty and they never went out of modernity. You understand? So, but these days, who and who will be arrested? And I told you when you were talking that the government kept silent about that because the government has not implied any form of law on dress code except for offices. The social life has no dress code. You can be as naked as a madman on the road and walk, so long as it is giving you food on your table. Nobody cares about you. But that is the area where the government is still supposed to come in and check if the society is getting deteriorated by 65% as at 1990, maybe 91. What is the level of the degeneration of the society today? Even like you have explained, one of the person that was supposed to be a counselor, she's supposed to be brought to law. She's supposed to come. She's supposed to be judged. Why would she have to change from what she was saying to another thing? It's just that we don't have law in Nigeria binding such activities. So everybody has a right to wear whatever he or she wants to wear at any given moment. So if you want to be naked on the street, you are free. I pray a day will come when the federal government of Nigeria begin to say, we don't want this, and it is part of our law.
Okay, let's look at our topic because we are talking about the effects of this nudity on the social media. What effects will this kind of trend that we've been discussing since we started the discussion this morning have on the individuals that are displaying their nudity, the nation, and then the society at large?
It is an exposure, and it's growing very fast. The social media is a very big forum where such things can grow easily. And you are asking about the effect. The effect is on homes. The effect is on the society. The effect is on the country on its own. Because if you don't know what they are doing, they will teach you what you are supposed to do. And that is what the social media is doing. And once they fed the eyes, like maybe the children who feeds their eyes with nudity on films, on social medias, they can easily abuse each other. It is rampant to be moved on that moral aspect, which you don't have any longer, and have the urge for sex because you've been watching, you've been all the day looking at a nude. And at the end of the day, you come out looking for a woman who is not prepared, or a man who is not prepared for you, and you rape the same person. So it's all about what you've been able to watch at the past hours, or what you have been able to absorb into your brain at the odd days. So it is very, very important that we know that it's affecting us, in the sense that it can bring in sexual molestations to our children. Secondly, it's so impactful, more than, I don't think no, I don't think any parent teaches the child how to go in for sex.
No.
So the social media has made it so impactful that the child knows everything about sex, underaged. And that is the checkmate I was even talking about. The abuse we get from it. The insults that are coming out of it. A parent that the child raped somebody else's child will go into the into problem and go into the court to defend or pay some, get into trouble. But if we are able to manage and begin to tell these kids that are underage the level of things you watch on this social media, don't go to this extent. Watch this. And even if they started going there and you monitor them as a parent, you will know how wide they are becoming before they get into the university where you can no longer monitor them or see them. And that is where the guidance from the parents starts happening. Because it is something else when a child goes into the university or tertiary institution and no longer gives interest to the book he or she was supposed to go to the school to read. All the child is going about is, I want a lover, I want to feel you, I want to do the other one. That's the languages we hear all around these days. It is not that easy for any parent to say, my child is not part of this. It could be very easy for you to even say it, but it is not easy for you to believe it, that your child is not part of what we are talking about.
Sure.
So what we are talking about is that it affects the society. It brings in sexual molestation to the society. Nudity can make a person do what he or she doesn't want to do at a given time. There was a lady that was having her breast up. The whole breast was showing up. And a man was walking by her on the street. And the man quickly rushed to her and said, I love you. And, grabbing the breast. And she reacted and said, you are mad. You are mad. You are not yourself. And while she was saying you are mad, the whole thing was jumping up and down. And she was fidgeting herself. And everybody said, if you know that you yourself, you are not mad, you wouldn't have come out this way. Then that brings me back to even mothers. Most mothers these days feel it is a trend for us to just leave our nudity, for us to leave part of our body open. We have so done it that we no longer value God for who God is. We don't have the fear of God any longer. We believe all we do is social media. All we think about is the media. All we see is celebrity. No. This celebrity I think they have their own life to live. While you have your own life to live. Why is the society getting degenerated every day? Because of maybe a personality is wearing half nude, then I'll have to put it on. Why are parents imitators of evil acts that have so devalued our nation? However, so many things have gone wrong.
Well, you said a whole lot. It's more like bringing us back to class where our parents were probably instilling the the tenet of morality into us. But then we still have this issue where the family is the bedrock of every society. So for the effect that we are talking about here, if these things happen in the family and then we take it out there, and out there we have the church, we have schools, we have the larger society where we go and public places, you understand? Even if you get to correct it at home, like you rightly said, what happens to the school? Who has 100% monitor on what their children do out of the comfort of their homes? Like my guest here, like my colleague here, Chidima, said that when children have the proper upbringing at home, you understand, they tend to get out there and have peer pressure, make them do things that they don't want to do.
And she equally added, train up the child.
A way the child will grow up and never depart from it. Now, if there are no stiff penalty for offenders, don't you think that this issue will still be talking about it every now and then?
Okay, I think you answered that question after this short break. We want to go to the streets and get people's opinion on what we are discussing, the effect of nudity on social media. Stay with us.
It's very wrong for somebody to be showing off her body or his body in social media because nobody knows tomorrow. And you don't know where you will find yourself one day. For instance, I'm a politician in a way. Like, if I become to expose myself, I don't know whether in next maybe 8 years to come, whether I will become anything in this Anambra Nigeria. So which means all these my oppositions might use that thing as what? As something they will use to say that I'm not worthy to contest for that post. So I'm thinking that it's very wrong for anybody, either a female or a male, to be engaging his or herself in showing off her body or his body. Because one, it affects, in the aspect of the female ones, it affects their marriage sometimes because we guys, we don't actually want to be marrying somebody who will be a kind of a public something to people. At least we need our privacy so much, very well. It has negative side effects actually, not positive, in my own perspective, because what will the person gain by exposing herself? What is she showing off? Is very wrong actually. So it has a big side effect, negative one, not positive actually. It has.
Nudity in social media is a crime and it should be condemned by all ramifications. The government and everybody, the social media houses should condemn it in totality and should not allow such to trend in their media spaces because it do radiate a negative and it's uncalled for, so it should not be allowed.
I think it's very wrong because number one, you're teaching the younger girls that to be naked online is okay when it's not. So it also indoctrinate the younger guys that look, these are what girls are doing and they should also make other girls do the same thing. So I think it's very, very wrong and something should be done about it.
That nudity stuff of a thing in our social media is really doing much harm than good in our society. Nasikwa m kwuo ka itinye tu Igbo. Nasikwa m kwuo ọ na-emezi ọ dịka ya sị na nudity nwa bụzi ịgba ọtọ na social media bụzi way of life ka esizi ebi ndụ. Like now na ịbịa na social media onye dress ya well akpọ ya na ọ mara ife dị in vogue. Mana ife akwana onye dress shabby gbala ọtọ then o nwete much likes then coming to our society omezi abịa dịka ya sị na ndị ahụ na-dress well na anaghịzi recognize ha at all. Then those ones na dress shabby, na dress naked, na agba ọtọ, then ọ bụrụzie ha na-enweta favor even from our men. Then our men too na bịakwuzie ọ dịka ha na-eme na ọ na-eme ha nwa na onwe ha say increase the way esi agbanya bụ ọtọ. Maka na nwa okorobịa kịta afụ nwaanyị dress well onye na ya anya ọfụma just ọ ya admire the girl or gaba, but of onye gba ọtọ I think no, I admire that person very well. So tomorrow now a young girl will be walking on the road prefer to be naked so that can notice kwani ya ka afechatakwa ya. So I think it's not really doing good to our society. It's doing more harm than good. So and I think it should be cautioned. Then after we caution here, bring it down to our families, to the parents that are training their children. At least we parents should, from time to time, advise our young girls, our young children that this is not the way to dress. Then pertaining to the way we buy clothes for them. Yeah, for a married woman, a young couple, now, she will buy a clothes here, all these things, it encourages it and we should look on it and Amaka is even attach those things.
All right, you're welcome back to the show. And we've been joined by Reverend Max Chooks Francis. He is a motivational speaker. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
All right. Quickly, we are talking about the effects of nudity on social media. And of course, you listen to what our respondents on the street have to say about nudity on the social media. A whole lot of people think that that's the fastest way to make money, because now we are all concerned about content creation on social media, and they feel that nudity sells faster and all that. So we're talking about the effects on both the society at large, our children, and then people that are also displaying their nudity on this social media platform. So as a man, we've been here with a lady, and she has been giving us a whole lot about the effect it will have at the end of the day on all the players involved. But then, as a man right here in the studio, this nudity, of course, I know that you are active on your social media platforms, and that you've been seeing what we are saying. It's not as if that we just saw it alone. Now, coming to you, as a man, when you see such pictures of people or video of people showing some of the parts that are supposed to be covered by clothes on the social media, I mean, as a man, let's leave your pastoral status as a man. How do you feel?
Terrible. Like very terrible. Of course, they are also very tempting, full of seduction. If a man is not well grounded, number one, in his faith, and you don't have a good married life, you may be swept off with this nudity. It's so horrible. It's unbearable. It is something that we really need to know what to do about it, so that we don't all get engulfed in the whole system. Of course, my pastoral work will always play in whatever I do. I read something in 2 Timothy 3, verse 1. I'll read it because it's so wonderful. Say, understand this, that in the last days will come certain perilous times of great stress and trouble, hard to deal with and hard to bear. For people will be lovers of self and utterly self-centered, lovers of money, and aroused by an inordinate, that's greed, greedy desire for wealth, proud and arrogant, contemptuous boasters. They will be abusive, blasphemous. When you look at this set of people, they seems to be the ones that people are celebrating. They are the ones making the money. They are the ones buying up houses here and there. So people think it has become a model. If you're not nude, if you don't show, the parts of your body, you may not get the attention that you really want. So the effect, it's something that I'm speechless, honestly. I am, because I am so bothered about my children. I am bothered about my friends, I have a friend who, you won't believe it, I thought he was into the car selling industry with us. Only to find out that this guy actually hires container shops for prostitution. And do you know his victims? Little girls, small girls are between 15, between 15, 17, 18. So what he does is he plants them there and brings, they call it quick, quick something. So you could pay 500 naira, 300 naira, and do something very nasty with the girl and go about it. After that day, I ran away from him.
That's brutal.
I really kept a distance. And I have been praying that God will give me the opportunity to talk to him. He shouldn't be doing this. He could see you with a little girl, and he knows psychologically, he knows bad girls. Without even having any encounter with them, psychologically, he will just size you up and say, nah, give this girl to me now.
But you know, if you can't talk to him, maybe as a friend, you don't know how to talk to him, you can report him to the welfare or the Ministry of Women Affairs so that they can go to those shanties and pick them up.
I didn't know I could do that.
You can actually.
Okay.
You can.
To
In
the
Anambra
welfare.
State. Yes.
And
Go
they'll
to
get their evidence themselves.
and maybe tell them the location where those containers are placed,
Yes.
and they'll go there and pick them
Yes,
up.
actually moved. You know, they destroyed those containers now on Abakaliki Street.
Okay.
So he hired the compound and found a way of, I don't know, how we, like put them in sections so he could still continue with the business. I didn't know I could do that too.
You can.
I'm going to look for, where is the
Go
welfare?
to the Ministry of Women Affairs.
Women
Yes,
Affairs.
go
Okay.
there and report this case. Tell them the
I will.
location where the house or the compound is, and they will go there. Of course, they will know the time they
will
are.
do the findings
Yeah,
and
do
so.
investigations and see what they can do
I
to
will
arrest
know.
the situation,
I will.
because this is very bad.
It's
It is.
terrible.
That's the effects on the society. The effect is that so many are getting engaged in such evil. You can see it because another child influences another.
It's a
And to
chain
think these are
reaction.
minors, because they are not people that came out willingly
Willingly.
to, do this kind of thing. They
Yes.
are minors, so it needs to be taken care of, and very fast too.
I also know, secondly, that money is also a terrible motivation. Money motivates these people. Everybody wants to have money. And everybody wants to be on the social media. So this drive makes them to be senseless. They become insensible. They can't really cope with the challenges that money brings. And then somebody comes and lures them into it, and then, so that is one other effect, the lust for money.
The loss of money can be attributed to the failure of parents living up to their responsibilities.
Exactly.
Because if as a parent you live up to your responsibilities, if you live up to your responsibilities, why would your child be looking for unhealthy source of income? It's not as if a child is out of school, secondary school, and you now say, okay, fine. While I'm waiting to get into university, go and learn a trade, or go and teach, or go and do something decent. So I think the idea of this issue of money being a propensity into why our youngsters are going into nudity should actually be, will I say, related to the parents on their own part. Because in the true sense of it, parents of this generation they are failed woefully. Because the work, or rather the task of being a parent,
Let's not say some parents, not all
No.
parents.
I'm not, when I say parents are failed, I'm not generalizing, averagely. But we have more that are failed than few that are still trying to knit their family together. Because most of these youngsters, actually, they came up from home. Like the one I told you about, a 40-year-old that was displaying herself, 14th birthday on social media, was a silhouette. Was a silhouette of her nakedness. 14-year-old. So would you tell me that child at that age doesn't have a parent? That's a minor.
Are you sure I've not seen that video before? There was actually one 14-year-old defecated, did all those things they used to do to seduce people, defecated her own feces and started eating the feces.
Oh.
Okay. That one is something serious. I think she's possessed or something is controlling her.
Like she was dancing to a music and then got to a point where she moved her bum to the camera. And then I said, hey, why? In fact, I had to chide the person that sent it to me. I was not happy with her. I said, why would you send me a thing like this? And then she defecated. After defecating, she danced again. Just like
someone possessed.
Somebody that is really possessed and started eating her feces.
Okay.
Wow, a whole lot is definitely going on.
We really need, I also think we should uphold money devotion as well.
At
It
home?
will help, yes, at home.
Okay.
It will help.
But then I want to ask you a personal question. Yeah, I understand that as a parent we have a whole lot to play. You talk to them, you read Bible with them, you pray with them and all that. But how many times have you, now this is personal, censored what your children do on their social media platform? Like maybe you just walk into them when they are in their room and just try to get the phone from them and see what they are doing.
Yes, I know one of those days. I do it tactically. I don't come all out. You know, I use what you call wisdom. So I don't want to push them to a place where they'll be hiding things from me.
Okay.
So I allow them, but at intervals, I'll just begin and say, let me see what you're watching. You know, one of my daughters used to stay in the dark. Though I have told her it will give her bad eyes. When you stay in the dark and you're using your phone, it's very wrong. Well, she took the correction and said, put on the light. So I wanted to find out what was it that she was, you know, looking at. Then I found out it was a movie. All this Korean movie, some of these Western movies. You know, so once in a while, I you know, supervise.
Personally does that.
I supervise that.
Well,
but then apart from that, I so much believe in, you know, the word of God is quick and powerful. It is sharper than it works faster, better. It's so effective, you know, so that when they go in life, you know, the word is spirit. And then we are primarily spirits. You understand? So that is the food for the spirit. And when I use the word of God, I pray a lot. I call them by their names, one by one. When I pray privately, I call their names one by one and have faith that whatever it is that I'm pronouncing over them is exactly what God will do for me.
I want to come into this. You see, I begin to see that children influences one another strongly. There is a strong move. You might think is that thing the person is watching. It could be another thing. If the child find out that you are too sensitive to know about his or her dealing, she changes the way she does things.
Strategies.
Yes. And then the influence of the teenagers, the influence they get on each other. Once they see a thing, they send it to the other person. You watch this, you see this. It influences them. Those are the effects. The morality we are talking about is giving the child a proper orientation and a proper upbringing. If you give your child a proper, let me tell you, the truth about the matter is that most of these celebrities that are up and down and down and down and up and down, if you look at their foundations, they don't have good foundations. They don't have good foundation. So they are not models to be copied.
They are not.
Yes. I used to tell my children, go and watch the foundation of the person you are imitating. If you want to tell me you want to be like this person, let's look at the foundation. Was that person properly brought up? These are the people, you know, these things bring disrespect to the parents. They watch, they display it in their various homes. You understand? They display what they see. The nudity practice starts even in the home. There have been in so many homes where you see the female child putting on what they call bomb shots in the house. Big girls. They put it on, their parent doesn't talk. You are talking about bringing your child to know what your child is doing. What about if the parent has deteriorated to the level of she doesn't even care about what the child puts on? That is the foundation.
Well, that is why you have a man and a woman to make a home.
Yeah.
Now, the woman will say there is nothing wrong. After all, your father and your brothers are the only people in this house. You understand? So it's not as if you're wearing your bomb shot out. But as a man in the house, you will now say, even though these are your brothers and your father, tomorrow will not be there. Unconsciously, you will wear this and step out to go and buy something out there. So because most times women do the shopping for their children, male child, female child. So when you see those things, you accuse the mother. How come you're buying things like this for this child? If apparently the father is not the one buying it. So it's a conscious thing that both parties need to play a role, because raising a child, some people used to say raising a child is difficult, but raising a girl child is more difficult. You understand? Because the quickest way to bring shame to your home is through a girl child.
Yes.
A male child can go and philander and then cause trouble. You would rather go there and make peace. But the shame won't be more on you. It will probably be on the girl child out there. So there is emphasis, because most nudity is all about girls. I can't see a 14-year-old boy parading his nakedness.
It's not just about girls. We see guys that they show their chests.
That's
they
adults.
Six-pack.
It's not just adults. We are talking about teenagers that still show their.
I've never seen one before.
And they will sag their. You are looking at their dirty boxers and all that. I mean, that was
I understand.
careless dressing.
Sorry, my daughter actually told me about, God forgive me, a pastor's son who what he does is brings out his private part and shows it to beautiful girls. And I don't even know whether the mother is aware of it because the father is late, but the mother is very, very alive. So I wonder, so that's where this area
I have
comes
seen
in.
guys, they come on social media, they wear very tight boxers and they are showing you their...
The curvature.
Yes, they are showing you how large it is, how big it is. So girls will start, some people will be salivating, looking at it and all that. So it's still nudity. And now we're talking about parents, the role parents have to play. We're talking about parents or mothers that have good moral upbringing. And they know what is right. What about the mothers themselves? They are wearing the bum short. In fact, they are the people that are showing their nudity on the social media. What do you expect them? What do you expect them to pass down to their children? Because I think that was yesterday night. I saw a woman that came out to, parade herself with her daughter on the social media. I saw the kind of bum short a 4-year-old girl was wearing. She was just wearing something like crop top here, and then I was looking at the picture. Yeah, I don't know, but a little child. She started from that age wearing this kind of dress.
And when she grew, she will not know
exactly
anything.
And you see the mother, she was wearing one skimpy dress like that too. Wow. So how do you give what you don't have?
And that is just the issue. If you don't have it, you don't have it. And if you don't have it, it will affect the others. Maybe I should say I'm blessed, actually, because
we are blessed.
I started, well, we are blessed, okay?
Being blessed is the work you put in. You understand?
Yes.
You put in
that's
work
just where I'm going.
Exactly. You put in the effort to make sure that you don't have kids that will bring shame to you. And you're reaping the glory right now.
My own foundation too, contributed because I was trained by a man of God. He's a great man of God. Trained by a man of God who doesn't wear, what do you call it?
Jeans or
shorts.
No, shorts. Or what's the other one? What's that one?
Sag.
Knicker.
No, not knicker. That one. The underwear of men. Boxers. He doesn't, you can never see him on boxers coming out to play or coming out to share the word of God or whatever. Then the wife too. We have never seen her, in any position of, exposure. That was how we grew up. So with that kind of orientation, I brought it into my home. My children cannot, I say it to the glory of God because at least they listen to me. They cannot wear stuffs, anyhow. Bomb short. Can't wear that in my house. I also introduced mosquito. I told them mosquito will finish you. That is why we'll keep buying drugs in this house because you're wearing shorts. What pieces of mosquito are long stuff? Look for, is it pajama you call it now? Yeah. Look for the long ones, the long whatever. You have your fan, you have your AC.
The weather is very hot too.
It's just that he's been privileged. You were privileged to have a good foundation.
Yeah,
you were privileged to have a good orientation from where you came in from. But what about the less privileged? Those ones that have found themselves in the society. That
people that grew up in the streets.
That later become celebrities. They are the people. Those ones that never had good foundations.
Somebody should reach out to them.
And that is why we are talking about the effects.
People like me who are with them.
That is why we are talking about the effects of what they are celebrating that makes them celebrating in the society. We are talking about the effect of what is giving us. So every parent should at least be able to guide the child and bring back the glory of the family. That is the point where every one of us has to start from. Then the issue of nude cannot just stop in a day. The society itself has to bring out some binding law. The society, the federal government, what is it called? The state government, women affairs, all these affairs. Yeah. They will bring in bylaws. How can a mother, a woman who is supposed to be a model, a carrier of a baby, walk under nude on the road? And the husband is telling me, are you mad? coming in to ask her what she's putting on. If there are abiding laws, the man wouldn't have gone to that extent. Then for the woman herself, she wouldn't have come out to the road, to the street like that. And what the sight of everybody is saying, what we are saying is what we express. This younger generation are saying what exactly she's depositing within her environment. Such people need to be arrested. Then coming to the other side of it, most of us used to quickly, agree that our children may not be partakers of this.
And the best.
Not the best really, but because you have given out the best of your efforts, you have already concluded within you, like me, that your children may not be part of it. But I want to tell you, so long as social media is concerned, you can't predict the level at which a child goes. Because the child is seeing more information in the social media. A lot of them they want to become billionaires under 15 years. They want to ride the best cars. They want to live in the best houses. And those things get them influenced. There are things they put in their key interest in, which you parents may not know. Even if they stay with you in the same room, you might not know. But the main thing here is the foundation you have given to them that will help them in the future.
And the funny thing is, most of these girls that you see, they don't even allow their parents have access to their social media handles.
Exactly.
So even when you are in school, they will block you. You can't even view whatever it is that they are
posting. Some of them are not friends. You are not friends.
You're not friends with them.
Your children.
They won't allow you to.
Your children don't allow you to become friends with them. So what are they posting that they are hiding? Like there was a time I was asking one of my child, let me not use the male child or the female child. I was asking one of them, I said, why don't you make me your friend in your what is it called? In your, how do they call
social media handle?
Yes.
WhatsApp.
Your Facebook. Yes, your Facebook. Said, mommy, you are too old for this.
Oh, wow.
Mommy, you won't understand. I said, yes. My friend told me you posted something. And I want to know that which you posted. That was why I asked you. You understand? So you can't just defend them. Children of these days are becoming too conscious of you as a parent, as a mother, calling you Male, old school. Take it easy.
But don't you think that it still boils down to that thing I used to say all the time, that you need to make friends with your children.
Exactly.
Be friends with them, talk with them. Like they can discuss anything with you.
We even have a platform, family platform, where everybody comes to talk freely. That's my own family. So I also think that we should do more.
Okay.
You know, some of us, we carry Christian names, but there's nothing Christian about us. It's so absurd, it's so painful, honestly. It's so painful that what will help us is what we neglect. You know, nobody wants, I don't want this religious, gibberish. I don't want this. But then, this is what will help us. I will continue to say it. Only Jesus can save.
Only.
Honestly. I used to be a breakdancer. You know, like breakdance to hell. But it was when I had an encounter with Jesus Christ that everything about my life began to. I'm not perfect, I have not attained perfection, but then each time I knock my feet on a stone, I get up myself and tell the Lord to forgive me, and then we keep moving on. There is nothing else that the world needs more than giving their lives to Jesus Christ.
Well, on that note, let's end it when we've heard the word Jesus. The effect of nudity on social media, we can spend the whole day, the whole week, in fact, the whole month, you understand, talking about it, and we still won't get to the root base of it. But then, as you listen to us and you've heard what we've said so far, use this platform to talk to yourself. If you're a parent and you know that you're not doing the necessary thing in order to raise up your child in the way that it's going to bring you that, comfort, you understand, that pride, please, you can use this opportunity now and then do the right thing. And for you, the young child there, be it boy or girl, that you want to use social media to influence yourself and make money, hey, remember that social media never forgets. Tomorrow you want to pursue a political office, you want to be somebody in the society, and somebody goes and bring what you did as a naivety, a young child that knew nothing, and then that's your political dream ends there. So let us be watchful of what we do.
And also your children might grow up watching you. When you are telling them to do this and do that, they will just go to the social media and dig up those pictures
of
telling you that mommy, you even did worse than us.
Exactly.
Okay.
So let us have this at the back of our mind and then probably look forward to a better society.
That will bring out a submission. Exactly. Giving out a submission to the society to create an environment, to create a policy where nudity will be totally eradicated.
You understand?
Hopefully it will, if we have the right policies and also the implementation of those policies. And on that note, we want to say a very big thank you for joining us on today's show. Good morning, Anambra. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. Have a wonderful weekend.
And I'm Ajuru Chukwuoka. We're saying God bless you.
And I'm praised. You're welcome.